So we are about to get, all right. Hello, hello. So remember that RAISE grant that I kept talking about? Racialized and Indigenous Support for Entrepreneurs Grant Program. Well, great news. It is finally reopened, and you will see here it is due December 8th, 2023 at 11:59. So by the end of that day, the RAISE grant is a $10,000 grant to support Indigenous and Black and other racialized entrepreneurs. One thing to keep in mind, applications are being processed in the order they are received. So eligible applicants will be accepted into the program until the program budget is reached. That means it is time right now to get your application in, because by the time you might be watching this, it could be full. So if you're watching this, please do follow along. I'm going to show you from beginning to end what this grant looks like and how to get your application in. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ryan O'Neill Knight, a social enterprise coach and business consultant, supporting you in getting access to funding and also with operations for your business. So if you have questions on what grants and loan programs are available, definitely check out our spreadsheet that you can find. We try to keep it as up to date as possible. Also, if you'd like to chat about what supports are there specifically for your business, happy to have a consultation with you. And if you just want to join us on one of our info sessions, we do monthly info sessions about available grants, so you can register here. All that to say, I'd love to work with you to support you on your funding journey. But today we are talking about the RAISE grant. So it should start with you clicking on this link, which I will put into the description. Talks a bit about the program. So the Racialized and Indigenous Support for Entrepreneurs, the RAISE grant program, is a $10,000 grant to support entrepreneurs, and it is done through the Ontario government's transfer payment system. So if you've never created an account on the Ontario government's transfer payment system, this will be new to you. So there's things to understand, but it's pretty straightforward. And if you have the information that they ask you for, it'll be smooth. If you don't, then you're gonna have to grab some stuff and go back and forth. So we'll try to get you up to speed on what to expect as best we can. So a bit about the grant program. Again, it is a grant that is giving $10,000 for business owners in Ontario. So it does talk about it's supporting Indigenous, Black, and other racialized entrepreneurs. So you do have to be from of that heritage. And also you can get a one-time grant of $10,000. The deadline is December the 8th at just before midnight. And as I mentioned before, they are processed as they are received. So as soon as the funding is finished, the program will close. You'll keep that in mind. Some eligibility, you do have to be registered with the Canada Revenue Agency. You do have to employ a minimum of 1 or up to 10 full-time equivalent employees, but this does include the business owner. So if you are a sole proprietor, or if you are a solopreneur running your business, you do qualify as an equivalent employee. Otherwise, if you have people on payroll, you can have up to 10. And if you're in the food services, you can have up to 25. So you do have to have been operating as of November the 17th, 2023, and attest that you are not involved in hate-related stuff. So some things that you cannot be is you cannot be a franchise, you cannot be a nonprofit or a charity, you cannot be a crown corporation or government agency, you cannot deal in tobacco, firearms, stuff with a sexual nature, and limited memberships. I'm not sure what that is. So the owner must be Indigenous, Black, or other racialized individual. So you do self-identify as you go through the application. You must be 18 years of age or older. You do need to be legally permitted to operate a business in Canada. and you must be currently living and operating your business in Ontario. And you do have to commit to participating in the training and coaching, which includes networking, and some of the requirements is like developing a business action plan to help you scale your business and not receive a raised grant in previous years. So it does go also through eligible and ineligible expenses. So this is good to note. And I'll put this link in the description so that you can go through it as well. So you can use it to hire third-party expertise. You can use it for marketing and communication. You can use it for digital transformation costs. They do talk about travel costs that's necessary to hit your objectives, capital costs like a POS system or small equipment and tools, business-related materials and supplies, knowledge development activities, so going through training or certifications, and costs related to attaining a disability or accommodation supports for your business. Some of the ineligible expenses that is good to keep in mind. So you cannot be paying the owner's wages or salaries. It can't go towards ongoing operational costs. So regular maintenance or insurance, maybe professional certifications that you already have and have to pay. So generic electronics that could be considered personal or operating. So cell phones, computers, printers. Also, you cannot use it for acquisition of land, buildings, or vehicles. You cannot use it to refinance or cover amortization expenses. You cannot use it for cost of intangible assets, such as goodwill. You can't use it for hospitality or entertainment costs. You cannot use it for membership fees in a professional body. So any part of a lease agreement, so you can't use it to cover your rent, even first and last rents or deposits. You cannot use it for inventory, so getting raw materials or work in progress or finished goods. So you can't use it to actually build out your product. So you can't use it to buy raw materials to build your product. You cannot use for items not fully paid or not yet shipped. And you can't use it to cover your GST or HST. So your goods and services taxes or your harmonized sales taxes, you cannot use it. Let's see if they give us a good breakdown on what you will need to apply. So you do need your legal and operating name. One thing to keep in mind, if you're a sole proprietor, your legal name is your actual name, first and last name, not the name of your business. And I'll show you when we get there why that's important. So you do need to have your CRA number. So that's your business number. If you are a sole proprietor, you might have gotten a registration number with your master business license. It is not that number. You need to apply to CRA for your business number, which would be a 9-digit number and then RT0001. No, sorry, that's your HST number. It would be RC. Actually, that's if you're incorporated. So you do need to apply for that BN number, and there's no cost. You just have to call and request it. So you do need to have your articles of incorporation or your master business license ready. You should have a recent property tax bill or a valid current lease or a valid current license that shows, or a rental agreement confirming that your business operates in Ontario. And so you do need to know which business sector you're in. You do need to know the number of employees that you need. And you do need to know, well, a description and supporting documentation. So they want to see that like your website to show that you're not a franchise or a nonprofit or any of these ineligible type of entities. So I believe a screenshot of your website would suffice, but keep that in mind. And let's see, you need to assure that the applicant is committed to going through the training. So you're going to attest to that during the application. They do want to know your reason for applying to the program. They do want to also know if you feel you're in startup or a growth and expansion stage. And when you get to those questions in the application, it gives you a description of each so you can see where you do fit in. They do ask your race category or Indigenous identity, your age group, and that you attest that you are as the applicant legally permitted to operate in business of Canada and currently live and operate your business in Ontario. All right. So where we want to go is we want to get to where you have an account. So before we get to having an account, if you do not have an account, you are going to create an account. And so I wanted to take you through the process of what creating an account looks like. So let's see if we can do this as we go through. So we should do a strong password. Okay, let's see. Oh, we have to agree here. All right, so it's going to send you a verification email. So if we go back to your email address, let's see how long this takes to come in. It might have gone into spam as well. So we'll check spam. It's not there. So check here. It's not here just yet. Let's see, just wait a minute. All right. I do not see it coming yet. It says a verification email has come. Let me make sure I type this right. detailignites@gmail.com. That is correct. But I'm still not seeing it come in just yet. Let's check the spam. Not seeing it. All right. So as you're waiting for your email to come in, don't be discouraged. It might take a couple, it took about a minute. So let's go here. We'll start the activation. We want to complete activation. Okay, so we have an account. Now we want to go back here. And let's see, when we sign in, we need it to take us to where we can actually apply. So let's see. Done. It's throwing me off. Menu. Jeez, we need to get back to the raise grant. All right, so let's go back in here. Copy this address. Put this one in. Okay, so if it doesn't show on your dashboard, you want to jump back into the link where it talks about the raise grant, and then we'll apply. So this is the page that you're looking for. So if you don't have a My Ontario account, you would create an account and it would take you to that process that we just did. If you do have an account, then you can sign in. And it wants to send me a code now. So this is different than activating your account. So you want to go back. So it's showing the code here. So you want to grab the code. Put that in, verify. All right. So we'll go through putting through your information to the email address. We don't have an invitation number. We want to submit. And then you're going to see this new register new organization. So if you register the new organization properly, you are going to see, so with this account, you sign in. Hopefully it's asking for a code. And so it's actually supposed to look like this. So you want to see that it shows view update in organization, and it'll show the raise grant here. So let's go back into register new organization. So we're going to go through. You are not registering a sub organization, and it explains that. But so if you are a corporation, So we are operating in detailing nights. Actually, no, we're not. We operate as the full name. So this one is a corporation. As I mentioned, if you are an individual, so if you're a sole proprietor, in this legal name section, you must put your first and last name because that's what a sole proprietor is registered as with CRA. So if you put your business name here, they won't be able to match your business number with the name and you have an error and then it stays stuck. So you do want to make sure if you're an individual, you put your name up here. If you're a corporation, again, put your legal name. The type, what do we put? Put education. And so if you're registered, if you're not, leave it unclicked. If you're not, and we'll put our websites. And then they do want our CRA number. So let's grab that. Save and continue. Then they do want your address. All right, and then if your mailing address is the same, you just click that as the same. Save and continue. So you do want to add a contact. So this will be yourself. If you have multiple contacts, you can add another one. Canada. Oops. All right, so no secondary phone, your position title. So if you're the owner, don't need to put a department and the contact type. So payment is probably if it's your accountant or a person that should be contacted about financial matters. Typically, if you are the owner, it'll be that you are the senior contact type. And again, if you have additional contacts to add, you can click there. And you do want to click that you are the signing authority. So move on. So now you're going to review it. It gives you a registration ID that will be unique to yourself. As you're going through it, it's in draft mode. And what will happen is that they'll do a check to see, and you do want to attest to these things, that you're authorized to agree to these terms, that you read and understand the terms, the information is true. And then you want to check this and then complete your registration. So if all goes well, it will do an automatic check. And for some reason, they put this in red. So the first time I saw it, I thought that I did something wrong. But when you read it, it does show that the business number you provided is valid. So that's where I was talking about when I was doing it before for a sole proprietor. We had put the business name here in legal name, and then it would say that they can't verify your business with the business number. So you have to put your your actual name in the legal name if you're a sole proprietor, and then we're able to redo it and it was valid. So now that this is done, you'll see on this screen it shows the update organization and the raise grant. So now when you go into the raise grant, you'll be able to go through the eligibility first. So now, oh, 1 sec, I want to make sure that we go through this properly. And so when you are selecting all that apply to your organization, you'll see the eligibility first. Get out of that. So you do want to check off that you are registered with the CRA, that you employ at least one, and that can include the business owner, that you have been operating as of November the 17th this year, 2023, and that you attest that you're compliant with human rights code. So you do want to check that you are not a franchise. So if you are not, you can say, yes, I am not. You say, yes, I am not a nonprofit. Yes, I am not a crown corporation. And yes, I do not, my business's primary activity is not any of these things. And we are not in early development. So if you only have a business idea and you're not yet registered with the CRA, this would not be, you wouldn't be qualified. And also, if you have a mature business that you're looking to exit and sell, this would not be a grant for you. But if you are not any of those things, you would check here. Now you want to check off that the owner of the business must be Indigenous, Black, or other racialized, 18 years or older, legally permitted to operate in Canada, currently living and operating in Ontario, and committed to go through the training and has not received a grant in previous years. So when you check your eligibility, it will give you the opportunity to then start. It does say it takes about 30 to 40 minutes to complete, but we'll go through it just so you get an idea of what they're going to ask you. So contact information, address, mailing address is the same. And you'll see the different sections. So contact information, eligibility, supplementary application questions, and then documentation that you need to upload. So as we go through, I'll just put owner, then contact information. Oops. And primary contacts email. So that would be my, they put my username email. So that's fine. Age, get it there. Are we part of Indigenous Nation? No, we are Black. And it does talk about, so it asks you to put a statement indicating that you're committed to going through the program. So really, I believe they're just asking, yes, I am willing to participate in the development training, business coaching, and will complete the business. And then it does ask you, why are you applying for the RAISE grant? So you do want to remember the eligible expenses. So if you forget, have that open somewhere so you can look through it. Actually, we can go back and see where I had that open. So if you want to look at, these are the things that you want to mention that you want to do. So any of these things, you don't just want to copy and paste it in. So which of these things you actually want to do. So let's say we would like to hire a professional to create a marketing strategy for expansion. And then raise grants, whoops, will help to print, print promotional items and flyers. All right, we would like to improve our website to, oh my goodness, to add for the journey for booking and email marketing. So we don't have any travel costs. We don't have capital costs. We don't need to get any business and supplies. So these other ones, so these are kind of bullet points. So what you'd want to do is actually turn these into sentences. You have 950 characters, so you can't really explain too much, but out of those eligible expenses, you want to explain what you're going to do and why the grant will help you do it. this is where it does ask you about, do you feel you're in the startup stream, or do you feel that you're in the growth and expansion stream? So the startup stream, businesses that have developed their product, general business plan, and have registered with the CRA. So at this stage, the business owner may be interested in learning about hiring staff, compliance and regulations, operations, record keeping, etc. In the growth and expansion, this is where you've validated your business because you have a tested product, experience with operations. So you may be interested in learning about hiring specialized skills, employee management, leadership and organizational culture. So digitization, sales and marketing. So based on which one you feel you're in, so let's say we feel we're in growth and expansion, and then they do want to know what industry that you're in. So we usually put ourselves into automotive, but when that is not there, we also do education. So we just pick education, and we have 2 employees. We'll go next. And so these are, what eligible expenses do you plan on spending the grant for? So you remember we talked about the fees for expertise, talked about marketing and communications, and the cost for digital transformation. So we didn't write about any of these 5 things. So if you check off things here and you didn't explain it up here in this section, it's going to look off. So everything that you want to spend the money on here, you then want to check it off here. And then they do ask if you've had previous supports for your grant. So if you've ever gone through the Blueprint, the BIPOC grant through DMZ, I believe that's the American Express one. If you've ever gotten the Starter Company Plus grant, so yeah, we got that before. Employment Social Enterprise Idea Accelerator. So this one is, I think that's the Toronto Enterprise Fund with the United Way, or unless the United Way has a specific one. So if you've gone through that, actually we've gone through that as well. The Black Entrepreneurship Program by ISED. So that is interesting because the Black Entrepreneurship Program has a lot of different players. Like there's Face Coalition and the Black Entrepreneurship Ecosystem. So if you've gotten support from the Black Entrepreneurship Program, which we have, so I'll click that. If you've gone through any Black innovation programs at the DMZ, we have gone through that. The Indigenous Entrepreneur Loan, no. Futurepreneur, we haven't gone through that. Fireweed Fellowship, that's interesting. Oh, First People Enterprise Accelerator. I've not heard of that. Indigenous Innovation, and the Black African and Caribbean Entrepreneurship, so Base Cell, which is done through the BBPA. So if you've gone through that program, you click there. And other, if there's something else that you've gone through, let's see, we've gone through Sheridan, Edge, so I'll just put Sheridan Edge. And so if there's something that's not listed here that is a sport that you've been through, click other and you can type it in. And then what is the main product or service that we provide? So we provide mobile. Watch this part. And now program participants accepted into the program, we match with a coach. So what type of background would you like your coach to have? So we would like our coach to have expertise in expansion through licensing, business, also expertise in marketing and creating strategies for online. So you do that, has again 950. So you do want to flush that out a bit more if you know exactly what kind of coach that you're looking for. And let's see, when did we register? Let's say that was 2020. What type of business? It's a Oh, not a cooperative, it's a corporate. Oh, we're actually a social enterprise. I didn't realize that option was there. Who do we sell to? We sell both. So B2B and B2C, which is business to business and business to consumer. We also, so technically we're none of the above, but we do have a location, but we're mobile, so we go all over the place. And our revenues up to 500,000. Office is 500. Identity. So how do you self-identify? Say Christian and another. So if you're another, you can put it in there. How do you identify yourself? If you are sexual orientation, official language. Is there any other languages? No. You're a newcomer. No. Do you have a specific disability, both seen or unseen? Are you caring for a person that has a disability? And highest level of education? Next. All right, so this is where you want to make sure that you grab these items. So your articles of incorporation or your master business license and upload it here. Your recent property tax bill or a rental agreement, something that shows that you're operating in Ontario, and you upload it there. And then documentation, so supporting documentation such as your website or mandate bylaws. I'm not sure how the mandate bylaws would help, but something that'll show that you're not a franchise, that you're not a nonprofit. So a screenshot of your website should suffice. And then they do want to, you need to attest that you have insurance, business insurance. So within 15 days of getting approved, you have to provide your business insurance to them and then add them as a beneficiary. All right, and if you have all of that, you'd be able to hit next, but I didn't upload all of these things, so I can't go forward, but you'll see, just if you want to see kind of what the full thing looks like. Sign it again. Need to back to this link. So I'm going to show you what the completed, I won't be able to show you the completed, but usually it shows it. I'm not showing. Yeah, it keeps asking you to verify. Anywho, after you go through this section, you can review before submitting, and then you will get a confirmation that it is submitted. And it also gives you the opportunity to download all your answers. So I would definitely do that. Again, just to review, it's asking for your business information. It's asking for your contact information. It's asking for eligibility questions. And then it's asking for supplementary questions, just to see what you need the money for and if you've had support before. And you do need to upload these documentations. So it's really important to have your articles of incorporation or your master business license nearby, a recent property tax bill or something that'll show that you're operating in Ontario, documentation that like your website that shows, like you can take a screenshot of your website so that they know that you're not in any of these businesses. And you do need to attest that you have insurance that you'll be able to provide once you get approved. So all that to say, again, in the link in the description, we're going to put a link to one of our next working groups, which is going to be next week, Wednesday. We're going to do it virtual. So as you're going through this process, you'll be able to ask questions. Oh, actually, let's see, I have it here. So yes, where is our event? So this event will be not November 23rd. I thought I deleted that, but we're going to be doing a walkthrough of the Desjardins $20,000 grant and the Raise $10,000 grant on Wednesday, November 29th. So I'll put this link in there. If you feel like you might get stuck, you'll be able to join us, and we will walk through both applications to make sure that you get it in. So all that to say, thank you for taking the time.